Hi, this is Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Thank you so much for joining us today for Live with Annie. As usual, we've started the stream a bit early. This helps us get everything set up and broadcasting properly to our various platforms. You can find a countdown clock on the screen showing how long it will be until we actually go live. While you wait, please connect with us and other viewers in the chat. Let us know where you are from and whether you're a new or longtime viewer. We'll see you live soon! Thanks again for joining us for Live with Annie. We are so happy to have you with us today. While you wait for the program to start, we hope you'll enjoy the content playing on screen. There's so much inspiration, so take a moment to tell us what you love in the chat. Don't forget there is a countdown clock on the screen so you know how long until we go live. Hi, it's Annie again, reminding you that we'll be going live with this week's episode shortly. There is a countdown clock on the screen showing how much time is left. You've got just enough time to grab some water or a beverage of your choice and a snack, and to connect with us in the chat. We'd love to hear what you've been working on this week. It's Annie, back to remind you that we'll be starting this week's live very shortly. We've got a really fun episode planned for today, and we'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 33 of Season 3 of Live with Annie. Today we are excited to now announce our brand new pattern, Courtside. You'll hit the courts in style with this backpack designed to carry rackets, balls, gears, and more. It's perfect for anyone who travels or has an active lifestyle. We're going to show you Courtside's features, share tips for making your own, including tips for using fabrics with predominant designs, and show how Courtside compares to some of our other backpack patterns, so stay tuned. We are home after a great trip to Houston. Thank you to everyone who joined us at Market and Festival. It is always fun to be able to get to meet you in person and to show you our products. I have to say it was really heartwarming to hear so many people say how much they appreciate our videos and patterns. So thank you all for your kind words. Since it's not always possible for people to find us at a show, we are really happy that we have this opportunity to connect with you, and we want to say thanks again to everyone for joining us. We know there are lots and lots of things you could be doing with this time, and it always means a lot when you make the time to join us. If you enjoy these episodes, please take a minute to follow us wherever you are watching. And if you know someone else who you think might enjoy the info that we share, we'd love it if you'd tell them about Live with Annie too. The easiest way to do that is to just tag them while you're watching. That will take them directly to the episode so they can watch it too. Also, we love reading your comments, so be sure to interact with us throughout this presentation. Tell us what you think about what we're showing, share your tips and tricks, and tell us what projects you are working on. We want to know what you think, and we love learning from you too. Be sure to add any questions you might have in the comments or chat, and we will do our best to answer them before we close. In our last episode, we visited with Tiffany Jaywar-Smith, Creative Manager of QT Fabrics, an employee-owned company with a rich history in the textile industry. I enjoyed looking at the fabric industry from the perspective of an employee owner. If you missed it or want to watch it again, remember that you can find all the previous 133 episodes of Live with Annie on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or at ByAnnie.com. We'll put up all the links to make them easy for you to find. Time for a quick drink before we get started. So as I said, we are really excited today to tell you about this brand new pattern, Courtside. Customers in the past have submitted lots and lots of requests for a bag to carry pickleball paddles or tennis rackets and gear. I got corrected on pickleball not being rackets, they're paddles. So I'm going to try and get that right going forward. So anyway, over the past 3 years, we've been working on designing a bag for that purpose. And in the process, we designed, tested, and discovered a number of designs. Our first designs took us in the direction of a tote bag, but construction challenges and feedback from customers led us to drop that design. We really wanted something that would be multi-purpose, so about a year ago we switched gears to a backpack-style bag, and I am so glad we did. So Courtside is a large backpack tote duffel that can be used to carry rackets, balls, gears, and more. I keep saying gears, but gear, like sports gear. All right, so there is a front pocket on it, and we designed it so that it will hold up to 4 pickleball paddles, and you can just slide them right into that front pocket, or it will hold tennis rackets. And Flo brought me a selection so I can show you those. So we've got small ones or large ones, either one fits. On these, the racket part of it is much larger, so you've got to zip open this front pocket, insert the racket, and then zip it closed. And it's going to be held nice and securely inside. So as you can see, 2 large rackets fit well. And Glow tested this by running up and down the stairs several times with this on her back, and the rackets, even when they're tall like this, never hit her in the head. So you'll know that it's going to be comfortable for carrying. But if you're like me and tennis and pickleball aren't in your day, it's also perfect for carrying your laptop and paperwork to work, or your clothes, toiletries, and more if you want to go on a weekend trip. So it really is the perfect bag for anyone who travels or has an active lifestyle. We're going to start today by playing the Anne introduction and a closer look videos for Courtside. Then I will be back to give you a closer look at some of the bags we made and share some tips for fussy cutting fabrics with a predominant design for the project. Hi, I'm Annie with ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. I cannot wait to tell you about our pattern, Courtside. Are you looking to combine your love of sewing with your active lifestyle? Or is there a passionate racket sport player or traveler in your life? We've got the combination backpack duffel bag for you. Inspired by multiple requests for a bag to carry pickleball and tennis rackets, we've designed this versatile travel bag. Courtside is a spacious, hybrid backpack or duffel bag that could fit under the seat of an airplane. It includes features for carrying rackets, slipping over luggage, and a zipper that opens wide for easy access. It's also hybrid in its construction. The body of the bag is quilted, but the outer pockets are unquilted for a more modern aesthetic. Let's talk about the ways to carry Courtside. There are handy padded handles at the top for carrying by hand, adjustable backpack straps for hands-free carrying, and a trolley sleeve on back for carrying Courtside on rolling luggage. If you'd prefer to carry using the handles rather than as a backpack, you can even disconnect the lower straps from the padded straps. Get them out of the way by tucking them into the back pocket and trolley sleeve. The large back pocket closes with a magnet. A large slip pocket on front has an offset zipper to add interest and give easy access. The front pocket zips open to accommodate large rackets and closes to keep them secure. It's also helpful for storing smaller items such as a tablet, phone, and more. On one side of the bag is a large slip pocket, sized to hold a large water bottle. Since there is no pocket on the other side and the zipper extends all the way to the bottom, it's extra easy to access the interior compartment. On the inside front, you'll find a bellowed inner divider with 3 sections that expand to hold water bottles, tubes of balls, charger cords, or a wallet. On the interior back is a full-height zippered pocket that's perfect for a full-size tablet, a 14-inch laptop, clothes, towels, and more. On top of that pocket are mesh pockets for smaller items such as glasses, snacks, cords, and more. Courtside will carry everything you need to the gym or pickleball court, the office, on a trip across town, or even around the world. The Courtside pattern includes step-by-step instructions to make this professionally finished bag, and we've also filmed an add-on video to help you with the more unique or challenging aspects of the pattern. You will find bullets in the pattern indicating steps that are covered. Ask for Courtside at your local quilt shop or find it at ByAnnie.com. If you have more questions, be sure to watch the A Closer Look video, which gives more info about gathering supplies and customizing the project. Hi, I'm Annie with ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie, and I'd like to give you a little bit more information about our pattern, Courtside. Courtside is made with a combination of quilted and non-quilted parts to give a more modern look and to simplify the construction process. Quilted fabric is used for the main body of the bag. This includes the body front and body back, as well as the zipper loop. Additional pockets are attached to the front and back, inside and out, and are connected to the bag body at the sides and bottom. If you have made our free pattern Easy Does It, or our ultimate travel bag or round-trip duffel, the process of assembling Courtside will be very familiar to you. The Courtside pattern recommends 4 fabrics, including 2 main fabrics. The main 1 fabric is used for the body of the bag, the side pocket, front of the inner divider, and for the padded straps and their bindings. The main 2 fabric is used for the front and back pockets and the trolley sleeve. These pockets are the perfect spot to use a fabric with a predominant motif or to highlight a patchwork block. In addition to the 2 main fabrics, the pattern also calls for a lining fabric, which is used for the lining of the bag body, pockets, inner divider, and for the inside binding. Finally, a coordinating fabric is used for the handle, straps, strap tabs, and a facing at the bottom of the front pocket. Of course, if you prefer to mix things up, add more fabrics, or even just use 1 main fabric, you can certainly do that. Just know that you'll need to come up with your own cutting layouts, and you may need different amounts of fabric than what is called for on the supply list. Directional fabrics will work fine for this project, and the pattern includes tips for their use. On this bag, we used several different fabrics. To avoid cutting through the lady, we centered her on the left of the front pocket and used a black and white stripe for the right side. I love how that stripe moves your eye right to the lady. We substituted the coordinating fabric for the back pocket and added another fun focus fabric in a smaller scale for the trolley sleeve. We used that same fabric for the inner divider and the bottom of the inner zippered pocket, again using the black and white stripe for the top of the inner zippered pocket. You will need to put some careful thought into cutting pieces if you are using directional fabrics or fabrics with predominant motifs. Because of the way Courtside is designed, most of the bag front and back are covered by the front and back pockets. So for this bag, we used a variety of more solid or plain prints for the bag front, back, and zipper loop, as well as for the side pocket, back pocket, and inner zippered pocket. Then we fussy cut the hero fabric for just the front pocket, the trolley sleeve, and the inner divider. We added an additional coordinating fabric for the lining of the inner divider. As always, we recommend that you make at least one bag using non-directional designs before making a bag using your more precious fabrics. That way you'll have a better idea of how everything comes together and what you'll need to consider when cutting. For this colorful bag, we used mesh instead of fabric in Soft and Stable for the side pocket. We cut the mesh to the same size as directed for the side pocket and bound its top and bottom edges with fold-over elastic. You will find a full list of supplies on the back cover of the Courtside pattern. If you don't yet have the pattern, you can also find the list on the Courtside product page at ByAnnie.com. Just click on the Supply List tab. Courtside uses basic skills used in many ByAnnie patterns. It has lots of awesome features, which means it has many pieces and multiple layers. So we recommend it for intermediate to advanced sewists using a sewing machine that can handle bulk. To help ensure success, we've filmed an add-on video for Courtside. It will help you conceptualize the project and take you through the more unique or challenging parts of the pattern, including preparing front pocket A, preparing the bellowed inner divider, and attaching the body back to the zipper loop and binding its raw edges. Just take your time, check off each step as you proceed, and enjoy the process. Before you know it, you'll have a great Courtside backpack duffel for your active lifestyle. We cannot wait to see what you make and how you use these functional bags. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Courtside and that you're excited to make your own. We had so much fun making these bags in a variety of fabrics. It seems like every time I turned around we'd make one, I'd say, oh, that one's my favorite. And then another great fabric would come along and move to the top of my list. We actually went through 3 different pattern covers for this pattern, trying to decide which one we liked best. So if you'd like more information about the fabrics that we used and the models that were shown in the videos, be sure to watch the very end of the A Closer Look video, and Jake will put up the link so you can get there easily. We are also going to showcase a number of newer models today that didn't make that video, such as this one which we made with Tula Pink's upcoming line called Roar, so be sure to check that info on the screen too. So this one is made again with Tula's Roar. It features dinosaurs, nice bright colors, and as the video discussed, it has a bit of a hybrid design with just the body of the bag being made with quilted fabric and then the other outer pockets being made with non-quilted fabrics. So by quilting the body, you eliminate those loose baggy linings, and by skipping the quilting on the exterior pockets, you get a cleaner, more modern appearance. So as we said earlier, the bag is designed to have 2 main fabrics, one that's used for the body and side pockets, which are mostly hidden, or the body is. The side pocket, we wanted it to blend in with the body, and then the other main fabric is used for the front and back pockets, as well as the trolley sleeve that's on back. As you can see, these are really great spots to showcase a fabric with a predominant design, and sometimes that means you're going to substitute some other fabrics for this. So on this one, I fussy cut this Tree Rex print, for the front pocket. So we did one fabric for that, And then I used a different print called Trifecta for the trolley sleeve on back. To make things more interesting, to feature more fabrics, and to make life simpler for me so I didn't have to do so much fussy cutting, I used a different main fabric for that back pocket. That meant I only had to worry about fussy cutting this piece. I didn't also have to match it to a design on the back pocket. But I have a couple of bags where I did do that, and I want to show you those next. So on each of these bags, I followed the pattern and used the main 2 fabric for the front and back pockets, as well as for the trolley sleeves. So that required some careful fussy cutting to make sure that things lined up. And I have to say that when I got done, especially with this one, I gave myself a huge pat on the back because I was really quite proud of how well those pieces lined up. So I'm going to give you a few tips for cutting the various pieces for this project. So again, as I said, I want the design on the front pocket to flow nicely across these 2 pieces. So when I cut the 2 pieces for the front pocket, rather than cutting one and then the next, I start by cutting a piece that's the combined width of these 2 pieces. So this is called pocket A1 in the pattern, this is A2. So I just add the widths of those 2 and cut one piece to that width. I'll usually start by positioning the horizontal and vertical centers of my ruler on whatever motif I want to be in the center of that finished pocket. So I thought I'd just show you a little bit of those steps. So let's say that this is the fabric that I'm going to use, and I know the width that it needs to be. I'll find the center of that, and a lot of times I'll start by centering that on one of the designs. And I'll move my ruler around until I find something that I like, but I have to keep in mind that this is going to be cut into 2 pieces and that there's going to be a zipper installed between those 2 pieces. So I look at where the measurements are going to fall out on each side and maybe move it a little bit to make sure that I've got something good there and something good in the other side before I cut out the full piece. Once I get that done, then I subcut the 2 pocket pieces from that. Just make sure that when you do that, you have the wider part on the left and the narrower part on the right, so that when you assemble the bag, your design is going to flow all the way across those 2 pieces. So here's another tip. After I have those 2 pieces cut, and I'm just going to show you some pieces that I cut for the back pocket, or for the lining of that pocket, I'm going to take the piece that I cut for the right side, put it on top of the other, and put my label at the top right. That way when I finish these, I know this is the top, that this is the one that goes on the right, and I don't have to think about that when I go to position them. On a fabric like this that I used for this bag, it can sometimes be hard to tell where the fabric lines up, so that just helps not have to think so much. One thing to keep in mind too is that on the lining, so on the main fabric, you cut the larger one on the left, the smaller one on the right. On the lining fabric, you're going to cut the smaller one on the left and the larger one on the right because it's positioned in the pocket differently. And so if you want your design to follow and flow across the piece, that's why it's done that way. So you'll notice that in the cutting layouts, it's different for the lining than it is for the main fabric, and that's why. All right, so another thing, while we're talking about the front pocket, let me say too that if you want to skip this zipper on the front and make this just one full pocket, you could certainly do that too. This would be a great place to feature a quilt block or an embroidery design, and my suggestion would be that you just follow the instructions for making this back pocket, including the magnet closure if you want to have a magnet on the front, and that way you've got all the math or the instructions done for you. Another idea would be, if you don't want to do the magnet, just make it a plain slip pocket, or you could probably even put a zipper at the top and attach that to the bag so it's a closed pocket. Just know that that's going to add a little bit more bulk up here, although I don't think that would be a big problem. We didn't do that on any of the bags we made, so I don't have anything to show you, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing some photos of custom bags soon, because there are so many ways you can customize this front pocket, and we really can't wait to see what you make. All right, next let's talk about this back pocket and trolley sleeve and how to fussy cut that if you're using a fabric for a predominant design, because there's a little more thought involved in this one. So again, this is designed so that the back pocket, which is called pocket B, is one large piece of fabric, and then the trolley sleeve is attached on top of that. So if you want to use the same fabric for those two pieces, and it's something that has a big predominant design, it's nice to cut that design so that the trolley sleeve lines up with the design on the pocket. And that can take a little bit of brain power. But this morning while I was getting ready for today's live, a brilliant idea came to me, and I'm sorry I didn't think of it before I had all the pieces cut for 20 bags. But I realized that if you cut the pieces to the dimensions of those two pieces that are described in the pattern, so we've got the back pocket and the trolley sleeve, and then you use a Sharpie marker to mark the placement lines on these. So I marked the centers horizontally and vertically. I marked the placement of the trolley sleeve. Then I could use these on my fabric to figure out where to place pieces. So I also put some fluorescent tape, which comes on a little roll. I meant to look this up to figure out where I got it. I've had it for a long time, but it's made for marking templates. Then I can, when I put this on my fabric, I can very easily see where the edges are. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps for doing that. So this is a piece that I had left when we made this bag. And the things to know about this, let me lay this out, is to first start. I usually start, and I'm going to start on this end because I've got a little bit left over. I usually start, because the trolley sleeve is the most noticeable, I usually start by deciding what motif I want to feature on that. So here's my little template for that. So I think one of these flower sprays would be really nice centered on that, which is what I did. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take this and position it, you know, somewhere on my fabric where I can get good use of the fabric, not waste too much, and decide what I want to put in here. So I will actually get out my ruler when I do it to make sure that I have about the same amount of fabric on the side of that predominant design and over here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, you know, where you want to go, but to me that's kind of the edge of that, so I'd probably scoot that a little bit so that they'd be similar. I kind of think when I did this, I took the center of that little black flower, or that little black center, and I decided that was the center. So that's where I positioned it there, and then I have to decide what I want to show here. So basically where the pink tape is going to be a seam allowance. So do I want to go up a little bit higher? Can you see that okay, Jake? So that I've got this whole flower in, and then this gets cut off at the bottom but matches the bottom of my bag. That's probably what I would do. So I'm going to decide that this is my piece for my trolley sleeve. And if I've got enough fabric, which here I do, I would probably go ahead and check that out or cut that out so it's ready to go. If not, if you're really tight on fabric and you're having to really maneuver things, you could mark around that with a chalk marker that would rub off easily and wait to cut it until you have figured out the back pocket. So once I've figured out the trolley sleeve, then I'm ready to cut the back pocket. So the first thing I'm going to do is find this same design on my fabric somewhere, and then make sure that I've got it positioned in the proper place so things line up. And again, as I said, this vinyl template made that so much easier. So one thing to know is to study your fabric carefully, because this fabric has these beautiful sprays of flowers, but one has this little blue part going to the right, the other one has it curving to the left. I decided to cut my trolley sleeve out of one going to the left, so this is the part of my fabric where my trolley sleeve's going to need to match. So I need to make sure I've got this right side up. I'm going to center that trolley sleeve, so I put the center vertical mark on the center of that little black flower there. I had it even with the top of that flower. I'll lay this on there to make sure that still makes sense, which yes it does. And then I'll know that that's where I need to cut the piece for my for my flower. I'll double check and make sure that everything looks here, and I think it does. It's got that nice flower going all the way around, and that would be perfect. So again, having this plastic template or vinyl template made that super easy to figure out where to arrange things, and that's what I would recommend that you do. It's a small investment in vinyl, and it's going to save a whole lot of thought and measuring trying to figure out how to get everything lined up. So just use your pattern to find where those placement lines need to be marked, and you're ready to go. All right. I need a quick drink. And as I said in the video, we always recommend that before you start using your really precious fabric, you make one out of non-directional fabric that isn't so precious that you need to worry about lining it up, so that you understand how everything goes together. All right, so I've got a few more tips for making Courtside. First of all, this bag has a lot of features, and by combining some pieces being quilted and some not being quilted, there are a lot of pieces to cut. About 1.5 pages of labels for this pattern. So be sure to use the labels that are at the end of the pattern to label your pieces as you cut. So start by copying the labels so you don't destroy your pattern, and if you're switching up fabrics, you might want to use a highlighter to color code the pieces that will be cut from each fabric. Then cut apart the labels so that you can attach them to pieces as you cut. Second, because all of the features that are in this bag, this is our longest pattern to date. There are 22 pages to this pattern. But as we said in the intro video, there is really nothing difficult about it. If you have made ultimate travel bag, catch-all caddy, out and about, you are going to understand most of the techniques that are used in this pattern, and the add-on video is going to cover the more unique or challenging parts. So take your time, enjoy the process, and don't try to rush through it. Also, because the zipper only goes part way down on the left side, which is the one with the pocket, the markings on the zipper strip are a bit different than usual because the center isn't in the center of the strip. So on this side, the zipper strip ends here. On this side, it goes all the way down. So pay really careful attention to the pattern instructions and take your time so that everything goes together perfectly. Here's another note. The pattern is designed for the pocket to be on the left side of the bag, so pay attention to the instructions for how to place the pieces. If not, you might end up with the side pocket on the opposite side of the bag, as we did on this Courtside, which really doesn't make a huge difference. You might prefer it that way. So if you prefer to have the pocket on the opposite side, you'll know that you need to switch it when you assemble the bag. So the pattern includes instructions for marking the front and back of the zipper strips with a pin, and that's how you avoid that happening. So don't forget to do that. Finally, go slowly when you join the front, back, and zipper loop at the end. There are a lot of layers. Hammering the seams really does make a difference. And remember that broken needles are usually caused by you pulling or pushing on the fabric, not by going through lots of layers. So let the machine do the work. Use the needle up and down button when necessary to move your needle really slowly through the particularly bulky areas. I actually didn't have to do that when I was doing the sewing, but depending on your machine, that might be helpful. Courtside is just an awesome bag, and I know that you or someone you love is going to love having it. All right, so before we close, I thought it might be helpful to show you how Courtside compares to some other ByAnnie backpack style patterns. I have been working on a comparison chart, adding Courtside to that for our backpack bags, but we haven't quite got that finished yet. So I think that Courtside's going to be a really great bag for anyone who travels, students who want a larger bag. So I thought I'd set out some of our backpacks so I can show you how the sizes compare. Clean my table off a little bit so I can do that. So I'm going to put these out kind of in order. I probably should have thought to pad them with something so they'd stand up a little bit better. I didn't think about that this morning. All right, So our smallest backpack, we're going to start on this end, is Out and About. And this backpack has 2 compartments, one on the front, one on the back, each of which opens all the way to the bottom for easy access to the interior. We duplicated that style on Courtside by allowing this pocket on the side that doesn't have a zipper to open all the way down to the side so you can easily see the inside of the bag. We also added padded straps, as Out and About has on the back of Courtside, so you can carry this nicely and securely. We changed the grab handle on this and attached handles to the front and back of Courtside so that it can easily be carried that way as well. So this is Courtside, and you can see it's quite a bit smaller. We are working on a larger version of Out and About, which we're hoping to have by spring, but haven't got very far on that yet, so no promises. So that starts with Back At Ya, or Out and About. Next is Back At Ya, which I may as well keep this out here so you can see the difference. Not a whole lot bigger, but a little bit bigger and quicker and easier to make. So Back At Ya has a front flap pocket with credit card pockets inside, a zippered pocket on back, and then zippers that go fairly far down on each side so that you can easily access the interior. There's a slip pocket on one side and a full height zippered pocket on the other side, and then backpack straps that are made just with fabric stabilized with strapping and can be easily adjusted for your height. While we're here, I'm going to show you this one. So this is its big sister, which is called Got Your Back, and I'm not sure what the size difference is, what percentage that is, but as you can see, a fair amount larger, but has exactly the same features. The only difference is that Got Your Back also has pockets on the side. Because these sides are a little bit wider, there's room to be able to put a pocket on the side so you can put your bottle of water in there. Then we've got, in between those 2 sizes, is our pattern called Switchback, which probably is a little bit shorter than Back At Ya, but a little bit wider. And this is a bag that can be carried over your shoulder or by pulling the straps out and then carried as a backpack. It's got a flap that closes on the front. Underneath that is a pocket, a slip pocket that's dimensional that has a welt pocket in the front, and then when you open the inside, you've got a full height zippered pocket on one side and gathered fabric pockets on the other side. So that is Switchback, and then the last backpack style bag we have is called Everyday Every Way. This is a bag that a lot of people like to make as a diaper bag. It's similar to Courtside, it's similar to Ultimate Travel Bag. It's got pockets on both sides, a pocket very much like Courtside's on the back, no trolley sleeve, and then a pocket on the front, and those all close with magnets for easy security. Then on the inside of this, we did a full height mesh pocket on one side. We added a little pad for changing the baby. And then just like on Courtside, we added bellowed dividers on the inside so you can put larger items like a thing of wet wipes and some diapers and some clothes for baby in there. So about the same, little bit narrower possibly, quite a bit shorter, not quite as deep. So again, Courtside's the largest of all of them and just a fantastic bag. I carried my bag. I've been carrying it for the past several months for travel, and it's perfect for carrying everything I need. My laptop fits in this zippered pocket at the back, so I can carry my laptop to and from work. Our new Payday wallet fits nicely in one of the bellowed dividers on the back, so if you want to have your wallet handy for access to that and security for all your cash and cards, you've got that ready to go. So it looks like we've got a few questions on here. Let me see. First one says, what is the opening size for the front zipper pocket if you wouldn't have the zipper? Would a computer fit without the zipper? I know that my computer fits in this inside pocket, which probably falls out at about the same place that it would if you skipped the zipper. So yes, you probably could fit a zipper in that outer pocket, or if you want to have a little more security, I'd put it in the pocket that's on the interior. Did you make the window you used to help with fussy cutting? If so, what did you use? Yes, I made that using just some of ByAnnie's premium clear vinyl. I cut the 2 pieces out to the size that the pattern directs, and then I used some fluorescent tape around the outside edges so I could see them easily when I laid it down on my fabric. I wish I had thought of that much earlier in this process, because it would have saved me a lot of thinking as I did all the fussy cutting for all those various bags. But I'm sure we'll be making lots more, so it will come in handy. All right. I hope that you all enjoyed learning more about Courtside. I can't wait to see what you make, so be sure to share pictures of your projects with us. Don't forget to enter our monthly photo contest. You can win up to $50, and we award several prizes each month. In fact, we are voting today for winners for this past month. And you can get all the details at our website. Just click on the photo contest gallery link that's up at the top. And as always, please ask for these patterns and supplies at your local quilt shop. These shops are such an important part of our sewing and quilting community, and it is up to all of us to keep them strong and vibrant. If they don't have these products, they can certainly get them, either from their favorite distributor or directly from us. And we're happy to set up wholesale accounts for them, so just ask them to contact us for more information. All right, I'm going to have a quick drink, and then we are going to move on to our featured local quilt shop of the week. At ByAnnie, we are all about supporting local shops. One of our favorite events each year is the Local Quilt Shop Contest, which we celebrate in February. During the contest, we encourage sewists to vote for their favorite quilt shop and share a little bit about what makes them special. And then to continue the fun and support, each week we highlight a store or more and some of their voter submissions during Live with Annie. This week we are going to start in Nampa, Idaho at Bluebird Quilt Studio. Owner Shirley Blakely is a teacher, a birdwatcher, a music lover, and a fabric and pattern designer. Shirley started quilting in the 1990s and opened Bluebird in 2007 as a way to combine all her passions into a place that serves the community and all quilters in the area. Shirley tells us, "We are a full-service quilt store in historic downtown Nampa, Idaho, offering inspiration, encouragement, and instruction for fledgling and free-flying quilt artists. We have served the Treasure Valley since November of 2007. We love the community and art from the heart aspect of quilting, and we believe you will see and feel that in our shop." Our shop inhabits a 1937 Tudor house in downtown Nampa and is full of history and charm. There are adorable dormer windows, a tile roof, and a backyard used for fun summer classes. The 3-story home is approximately 4,000 square feet. This gives us space for a number of handy quilter long-arm machines. The main floor consists mainly of fabric and notions with a few long-arm machines. Our sunny basement functions well with many spaces for our classes. Sounds like a great place. We offer a wide range of quilting and sewing supplies and notions and specialize in the brighter end of the color spectrum with rich batiks and quality cotton prints. We are lovers of nature and the Idaho outdoors and have several products of Bluebird Quilt Studio original design that feature Idaho landscape and wildlife. Bluebird Quilt Shop is a handy quilter dealer, and we have earned the HQ Way Award Retailer for the last 3 years. For those who want their quilts finished here, we also custom quilt, computerize edge to edge, and free motion our customers' tops. We offer quilt classes for all ages and abilities. Quilting education and support is available through our in-person and online quilting classes from experienced quilters with teaching backgrounds. Our class schedule is continually updated on our website. Bluebird Quilt Shop participates every April in the annual Treasure Valley Shop Hop, and they host 2 mountain retreats in May and September. Shirley said, "We have always said it takes a village to run a quilt store, and we couldn't do it without Marilyn, Mary, Sarah, Nina, and Paula. Marilyn is always busy teaching classes, dyeing fabric, playing with wool, and has a passion for being creative. Mary is our attention to detail lady. She is amazing with her precision piecing and beautiful handwork. And Sarah brings a piece to our flock, and her store samples are enviable throughout the store. Nina is the wild one in the bunch with color and energy. She loves pattern writing and creating beautiful bags and classes. Paula is our fantastic custom quilter. Her quilting skills are often sought after and special requested. Shirley, the store owner, is warm and welcoming to everyone who graces the doorway. She teaches most of our handy quilter education courses. Customers who voted for Bluebird Quilt Studio in this year's contest praised the store staff and service. Lila said, "The owners are friendly and super helpful," and Terry recognized the store's customer service and regular retreats. Bluebird Quilt Studio will have their ByAnnie trunk show on display throughout the month of November, so if you're in the Nampa, Idaho area, be sure to stop in and check it out. I bet November is just gorgeous there. All right, one more quick drink, and then we're going to go to Ponca City, Oklahoma, to visit Completely Quilted. So this is a family business that's owned by a husband and wife team, Paul and Susie Taylor, and their daughter, Nancy Laffey. Nancy tells us, "We are all passionate about creating the most family-friendly environment and shopping experience for our customers. We love to serve with our diverse services offered in the shop. When not in the quilt shop, you'll find Paul and Susie in their camper traveling across the country with their 2 dogs or out on the golf course." Nancy enjoys time with her family and friends and cooking delicious foods in the kitchen. They tell us, "We are celebrating our 16 years of business in the same downtown location. We started as just a long-arm quilting service in Susie's home studio, but after purchasing a downtown storefront, we decided to team up and sell high-quality quilting fabric, notions, and Bernina sewing machines. And the rest is history. We love being in a historic downtown. Our building was built in 1910 and was once a movie theater. We have great lighting and wide open areas to shop in comfort and to take in all the many quilt samples we have hanging from the high ceilings. We love the brightest and boldest fabrics, especially everything Tula Pink. And of course we have a large selection of everything you would need to make the ByAnnie bag of your dreams." I love hearing that. We sell a little bit of everything when it comes to fabrics and have a selection of wide backings, batiks, 30s prints, and lots of basics. The past 16 years have seen many happy Bernina machine owners who have invested in these amazing machines, and we continue to help them with their creativity through guide classes and clubs. Susie still quilts for customers on her Bernina Longarm, and Nancy does custom embroidery on her Bernina E16 Pro machines. Paul keeps everything working smoothly in our service department, where we service all makes and models of sewing machines. We always have lots of classes, and we are looking forward to hosting our ByAnnie Trunk Show in November. We have such a special staff member who has worked with us for over 14 years. Bonnie has been with us from what feels like the beginning, and we are so grateful for her loyalty and customer service. Everyone loves Bonnie. Customers who voted for Completely Quilted in this year's contest raved about the store's staff and their friendly, helpful service. Carla wrote, "My store is an anchor in our historical shopping district. The staff welcomes local quilters as well as quilters across the state. As a rural shop, they work hard to bring new techniques and fabric lines to our town. The staff is always willing to share tips. I was struggling with applique stars. Susie took a moment and told me how to reduce my stitch width down to the point. Perfect points appear on my quilt tops now." And Penny shared, "They are really helpful and polite, and they greet you by name when you enter. I enjoy their workshops and how they let you go at your own pace." And Charla added, "They are open to our suggestions on ideas for classes on specific projects. The selection of fabrics, patterns, and notions is wonderful, and they are always eager to answer questions. Most of all, their kindness is genuine. They are my favorite quilt shop. When asked about the impact of the contest on the store, Nancy said, "We just appreciate the opportunity to share what we love with other quilters and shops. We love making ByAnnie bags." Completely Quilted will have their ByAnnie trunk show on display until November 20th, and they're sharing it at their local guild as well in the shop, so be sure to stop in and check it out. And tell them Annie sent you. All right, thank you again to everyone who joined us today. We will be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time with another inspiring episode of Live with Annie, when we'll introduce our new pattern our Ditty Bags 2.0. You are not going to want to miss learning all about it, so be sure to join us then. And until then, happy stitching!